Yeah, this should be fun. Hi, everybody. And there won't be a lot of people on here for a few minutes. Oh, yeah, let me do this thing. Do I have the technology? I have the technology. It's going to follow me. It's going to be kind of creepy from one view. All right. So, hey, everybody. My name is Brian, and I didn't start recording. Oh, my goodness. Streaming and recording are two different things. Let's never forget that. Okay, so I did this on a whim. Decided I would literally drag an Ethernet cable out to my cottage project and spend part of my Sunday demolition of the interior of the murder cottage, which has already been recorded on a video that I just haven't gotten around to editing yet. Hopefully, this live streaming thing will give us another content opportunity. Oh, hang on. I have to make some technical adjustments in the background. Don't mind me. All right. If you are new to whatever it is I think I do here. I am a kind of marketing person, old engineer who years ago when we did this whole like lockdown thing, I just moved to Oregon about 9 months before. Hang on, I gotta turn on some lights here. And okay, I gotta replace battery in a light. Anyway, point being is that I picked up a farm about an hour south of Portland, which we called the GeekFarm because we always call our farms a GeekFarm after we moved from Georgia. And it came with a giant barn, which 9 months after we moved in, of course, I had some free time, got locked in my house, and ended up doing a renovation of that to build a workshop. Thus began the NerdSteading concept of like make slightly, standard farm improvements, a little bit geeky, a little bit not. To this thing. Now, on the property, you can go watch some of the other videos, we've got three main structures. We've got the barn, which is gigantic, 11 stalls, not all used for horses. Some of them are storage. House, about 1,800 square feet, 1970s, couple of renovations, pretty good shape. And then this unpermitted cottage that obviously somebody was living here for a while, and they did some questionable things to bring it up to a livable structure. None of them involved building codes. There's all kinds of nonsense in here you're going to see when we get around to releasing the other thing. So I'm figuring today I'm just going to do some background demolition. I'm going to create some accidental ASMR probably because I've got this Tyvek suit thing going on. One thing I can do is show you. The thing we've been focusing on is taking the walls down a bit. And yeah, so now this is really starting to open up a little bit. Of course, we did find things like ants and rat poop, which is why I'm in a Tyvek suit, because that stuff's disgusting. So we pulled out that exterior wall. Once you watch the video, you understand why that wall is going to go. What I want to work on today is continuing what we did in that first round, which is taking down the interior wall paneling. And mostly, I don't really care about the wall paneling right now because I have to wait for a dumpster to get rid of that. I want to get this insulation out of here. It is water damaged. Stuff has been living in it. I don't like that. And so I basically got bored yesterday and took my tool cart out of the barn and cleaned it off from the last project that we didn't use for. And now I stick a monitor arm on the top of it and literally dragged 150 feet of network cable out of the shop. So there's a orange and red cable from the PDX video kit. Sorry about that, guys. There's no power in here because the power situation here is sketchy. So I've got a couple of battery backups, and literally out the window, I've run a couple solar panels. I'm going to play around with charging those things independent of the grid. All right, so now what we're going to do is you're going to watch me redock the camera. And thing that I hate the most is sealing up this stupid Tyvek suit. It's going to seal in the brine fresh flavors for a bit while I work in the barn. I'm sorry, the shop. It's going to take me a long time to get around to not saying working in the shop because the workshop was like the only real big project I've done. All right. My GoPro is time-lapsing at the moment, so I'm going to be going between professional video. I just didn't feel like it today. Really not in the mood. I just want to hit things with a hammer. Is that so wrong? Yeah, so what I'll do is I've got one camera that's going to kind of track me a little bit and one that's just wide. And I'm going to make a mess. If you guys chime in, great. If not, great. Um, I don't kind of really don't care. I just got to get the work done anyway, so you might as well have you all along with me while it happens. All right, so there's going to be a, momentary rustling as I get this sucker set up. Yeah, now the trick is going to be the layers. So I've got to get the mask on. And yeah, I went full respirator the first time, and if we take the ceiling down, okay, when we take the rest of the ceiling down, I'll probably need to put full respirator back on because that's nasty. Um, but it's a little overkill, and you guys didn't hear me very well in that thing. So I went to, of course, I went to a restore, and they've got a bunch of different masks for not much. So I'm going to try this guy out today. So there's a layering problem. Oh, I got to get the mask underneath enough to get the band. What is this made of? Is this rubber? A little foam gasket in here. This one's kind of nice. By the multi-pack. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. That's ooh. I got to go back and get the rest of these out of the restore clearance bin. These are great. Okay, so that goes over the top. I don't want to attach the mic necessarily to the tie deck. This seems like it's pretty much white noise generator. I mean, that's all of my content is probably classified that way. Now the question is, will it recognize me as a people? Oh, it doesn't recognize me as a person when I put the goggles on. Subject lost. Yeah, okay, great. So what if I object track? The camera won't even objectify me. That is very progressive. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna do two manually print cameras then. All right, so let's see what I'm looking at here. Yeah, I'm gonna send Mike TV through the chocolate factory tour dressed like this. Oh, and it is like 60 something degrees in Oregon today. It's May the 4th be with you and also with you. All right, this should be interesting. So I'm gonna wear this sucker like I'm miking up my ski goggles. Oh, it's gonna get so warm in here. All right, so first things first. Here's a construction tip for everybody involved. That's not house wrap. That's just like some thin mill plastic situation. So I'm not really thrilled about that. I gotta be honest. That is not how you actually make a thing. All right. So what I want to do is all the power is disconnected, by the way, so I'm not going to accidentally cut any of these cables. But okay. Yeah, you can ugh. All right. Not a lot of people watching at the moment, so this won't offend too many folks. I'm going to show you why I am absolutely keeping the mask and the goggles on while I demo this nonsense. Okay. Take you off the stand. Be round. Okay. Cable have I got? I got about that much cable. That is it's kind of disgusting. That is really, yep. Now you can see why I'm dressed like this. The DJI is hilarious when it loses tracking on something. It says no face detected, and I feel like I'm gonna have some kind of like Miyazaki experience whenever that prompt comes up. All right. Yeah, I've put about 6 minutes of work into the theme there, so thank you, rapid internet search. All right. If I keep using this setup, I will probably get the Stream Deck out because I think the Stream Deck will work in workflows. All right. That's the old oven hookup. This is not a permitted space. There shouldn't have been an oven in here. All right, so what I do to get rid of this stuff is I just would put it in a dumpster, but it takes up a lot of space. And our dumpster was gone midweek. We had one last week and haven't haven't renewed that yet. But the local transfer station, i.e., garbage facility, will end up taking bagged insulation. So I can get rid of this stuff like a full truck bed for about $15. So I'm just going to bag it up as I go. And then when I can't pull any more out, I'll take these top boards out and then do the same thing on this side. This is the part that is usually done in a montage of some kind on a television network. Oh, but in my case, you're watching it live, so somebody in the final video that I make is going to end up getting the benefit of this being just a speed run, like a GoPro or something. And this is, of course, what you tuned into the internet for, the ASMR of a middle-aged man trying to open a trash bag. Somebody's loving that as content, right? Yeah, awesome. Okay, I gotta find multiple income streams in this economy. All right, come on. Yep, this is why we edit the final video, so you don't have to look at this stuff. Anyway, beyond the dog. There. Oh, all right, 42-gallon contractor bag. Save me. Whatever the hell is living in this wall. Ah, anyway. So how are folks in the comments enjoying their Sunday? Are you currently wearing a Tyvek suit while you watch this live stream? Answers in chat. Wow. I'm not streaming this in 4K because you'd be seeing a lot of details that are unflattering to the house. Things have been living here rent free. I don't mean that emotionally. I mean like, ah, there's a lot of critters living on the walls. I'll add this to the collection of crap we found. 6% of a plate. All right, so I'll make a small lumber pile off in the corner. I'll keep filling up this sucker. Oh, oh. I do this for fun. Not even like actually a contract or anything. I just don't feel like paying somebody to work on this. I think it's more entertaining to have a practice house. That's why I like working on barns so much, or workshops. They've got, in some states, Georgia sometimes didn't really care, but Oregon cares. Oregon cares about your building permits. Wants its inspectors to be happy. I like those inspectors though, so it doesn't bug me, but I don't know. I feel like working on the shops and things, like framing out the barns in Georgia or improving the one here, kind of starter home sort of projects with lower impact. This is residential. This has got to meet like actual current building codes when I'm done with it. So it's going to be a process. We actually got the permits for this last year. That's mostly so that we could get the septic replaced. It's one bag.
Oh, oh, need to unopen another bag there. Yeah. Uh, Old man opens trash bag. Film at 11. I even make a film at 11 reference anymore. And then people get it. I don't think so. Appointment television doesn't exist anymore. So I'll have to update those references too. Another ASMR sequence of old man opens a 42-gallon pre-mill contractor bag. Generic brand. Lowe's. You can tell they're the generic brand. Just can't find the stupid seam. Oh my goodness. So the ASMR edit on this is going to be amazing. Wonder these are the generic brand. I'm glad you're here to keep me company. There we go. Didn't even need the violence. Don't mind me checking my phone messages. Do. This is entertaining, isn't it? Compelling stuff. There. Sorry, just had to check some stuff on my phone right there. All right. I have conquered the bag. Ah, more insulation, baby. Let's see. Move down the wall a little bit. There we go. Oh. So welcome back to the Breaking Bad fan podcast. No? All right. Yeah, he would have a more sanitary environment, I believe. Ugh, definitely could not cook in here. It's bad with even the meth guy. It's like I'm not going to cook in this place. You're starting to see the other wonder of how this house was constructed. I would air quote the construction, but I'm holding a bag full of insulation. Oh, there. That's flaky. Uh, I'll show you the wonders of not using house wrap in just a second. But first, my second bag full. Uh, Message time. Do. Ah, all right. Do. All right. Let me take you all on a tour of poor decisions. All right. All right. Time to go handheld again. And here we go. All right. Thank you, Osmo. All right. So this wood is, I don't know, made of the egos of men who call themselves alpha males. It is thin and doesn't take as much damage as you think when you hit it with a crowbar. Ah, interior thoughts, Brian. Interior thoughts. So, what they did is they put on the outside a layer of like really thin mil plastic, like probably 2 mil. I think it's 2 or 3 mil. It's about the same thickness as the garbage bags the insulation's going into. And there's no OSB or plywood underneath that. So they lat sided over plastic, which went over insulation, which had another layer of plastic on the inside, which then had the same style, not exactly the same wood, but the same kind of idea of just like lat siding, no trim or finish. So what I'm saying is it's trash. It is just, it is absolutely trash. Um, do do not do that, dear reader. That is a terrible, terrible way to do this because there was no like they could have weather protected this thing so much better, and they didn't, and it makes me sad because now there's water damage at the bottom of a lot of these walls. It's it's just not great. So figure out what to do here. I mean, I'm not taking down any of the exterior wall, but I mean, even without taking the wall down, I get more daylight in here, which is great. Right now, I'm relying on a lot of like borrowed LED lighting in here. Uh, right. Let's smash some stuff and clip some cables. I need a bin. I'm also gonna step outside for a drink in a second. Do. Copper wire goes in the clean bin. I went to the metal recycler yesterday, and like part of a truck bed was like $3 or $4 of metal recycling value, but the one bin of copper cable I took in there was 18 bucks, and it wasn't even fully packed. This is also, by the way, an old Dragon Con TV bin labeled zombie clothes. So, everything still on brand for me. Okay. Right. So, yeah, what I think I'll do is cut some of this cable out and then bin it, bin, and then take this wall out, or not the whole wall, just the interior slats. And then I'll probably pivot over to this wall over behind me. See how that goes. So yeah, let me get the cable cutters. They're in the pocket or somewhere. Ah, here we go. Lights and pliers, which will take out. Oh, hang on. Can I just pull that out? Uh, Tab on that is not all the way knocked out. Ah, can I get those pliers? I probably can. Me no likey. There we go. Okay. Leverage. Leverage good. Know what? It's all going to the bin anyway. No, not going to reuse any of this. I don't know if it meets code anymore. I don't know if a rat chewed it. I will tell you that the power in this place is chained off of the barn on a 100 amp 240 breaker and runs under the ground into the side here. And you'll have to watch the full video to see the beauty of this. But I'll show you in a second. The electrical panel's in the bathroom. Oh yeah, yeah, that is not code. That's not bro code. It's not OSHA. It's something else. I can't get demonetized because I don't think this stream would get monetized. So still don't feel like swearing yet, but that depends on how many ants I run into. Like, did they actually use the? Holy crap! They actually used the right insulated clip when they did this nonsense. I'm kind of surprised. All right, knock these out. Figure salvage as much copper as I can. Make up some of the money for the multiple dumpsters I'll have to rent. Last dumpster was, I don't know, close to 600 bucks. 10 cubic yard. I think we only need one more to get the rest of the stuff because the cabinets and everything went into the first one and they take up a ton of space. Uh, Even when you break them down with a recip saw. There we go. All right. Pardon me. Oh, they screwed that box in. That's nice. Uh, Take that out. And move some cameras around a little bit. Too boring. All right. Do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, do-do-do-do. All right. Let's see if we can get that box out intact. I'll reduce my need for profanity later. We should keep the stream clean. All right. Ants. Oh. Segment sponsored by Rigid Tools. Rigid. It wasn't a Harbor Freight in your neighborhood. Just kidding. I actually really love these. Lifetime battery warranty was kind of what got me for it. Again, not a sponsor, but it could be. Put this in the magnet of screws. Oh, that goes way up there. This is thick. I don't know if I'm able to cut that with my linesman's pliers. Okay. Yeah, let's take some boards out. These were the hell are these crown staples? Yeah, the crown stapled. Very sophisticated construction method that requires a light touch. Yeah. Okay, smashy, 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 smashy. Loud noise incoming, kids. Ugh. The other thing I discovered about this stuff Again, it has. Oh, wow. It's some male ego fragility going on here. Yeah, no. I can't pile lumber on the network cable. Something I've never ever had to say before. Never had to. Yeah, I can't pile lumber on the network cable. Who knew? This is actually a wired connection. Pretty good bandwidth for such low quality content. Also, it's just because the Wi-Fi doesn't actually get out here. I need to change that. Oh, it's very satisfying. Yeah. Ah, give me just a second while I make some adjustments. Oh, these casters remind me why this cart was on sale. There we go. Bought this cart from an old employer when they were closing a building. Oh, all right. Hopefully I'm not too close for my comfort. Yeah, definitely don't want to. This would be a weird way for the laptop to lose it. It's not a Lenzy kind of situation. I don't know if all of you know about Lenzy. Have you watched enough of my stuff? If you know who Lenzy is on this channel, you're one of like 5 people, and you can put in the chat if you think you know. But Lenzy is a legend who is now gone to a greater place. Loud noise incoming. Master Splinter taught me that trick. Ah, Ninja Turtles humor. Quality show, kids. This is the kind of content that you expect on a free streaming service. Quality with a capital K. All right. Now, Lenzy is my old GoPro Max 360 camera. The reason we call it Lenzy is because in the 3, 4 years I owned that camera, had to replace the lens covers 5 times. I only put them on an auto subscription from that site that shall not be named. Yeah, I sold Lenzy a year and a half ago just because I wasn't using the 360. I also don't think that the GoPro Max is the best camera for that kind of stuff anymore. But I don't use enough 360 camera bits to justify dropping pre-pandemic prices on Insta360. Post-pandemic, I'm sorry, post-tariff. Oof. I'm really hoping that I don't have to replace my DJI because that camera got $160 more expensive after the tariffs. I love that. Even though it's not an action camera. Osmo Pocket, which you're listening to right now, the Pocket 3. It's optional. DJI mic, which effortlessly pairs both webcam and production. Buy yours today. I don't have an affiliate link, but if you could afford one, kind of dig it. Ah, oh, there we go. Ah, there we go. Ah, it's very satisfying. Pull that little bit. Oh, oh, this actually had screws in it. It wasn't just ground stapled. A couple of little guys in there. That's fun. Uh, okay, good. I got all the installation up to that wall stud. Now this is framed. Uh, that's framed across the window header. So I assume when I take that board off, up there's going to be more insulation. which is, I'm gonna be honest, kind of disgusting. That's why it's going in trash bags. All right. Give me a second, grab a beverage. I'll uh, get caught up on where we are. Mm. Okay. Eh, It's kind of like a still suit, except I don't want whatever is getting distilled out of it. I really don't. Oh, cheers. I'm gonna leave the seltzer outside because there's critters in here. I don't really want them in my water. All right, I'm probably gonna go grab a. Actually, I want to grab a ladder. No, I want to do this wall, and then I'll get the high bits next. Do the ladder when no one's watching. That's less tempting fate. So I'll be right back. Mm, water. All right. Oh, this is great. Yeah. Did I show everybody the cart? I showed everybody the cart. Cart of Doom. Let me get the cart of Doom cam up and running. All right. So I was putting tools in bags and bins and things, and I just decided to grab an old wheelie cart that I had in the barn out, pull all the old shelving that I had stored on it for a while, and then put a small spare monitor arm that work sent me during the pandemic um, to kind of both organize this my live stream situation and also just to make sure that my tools and stuff are inbound. Oh, is it noise suppression running? Really? There shouldn't be noise suppression running. We're gonna have to fix that, aren't we? Thanks for letting me know about that. Huh. I'm gonna go look at microphone settings and see if that's a thing, because I didn't think it was in here. I didn't think I was getting processed. I think I'm getting processed. Well, why don't I do this? Why don't I actually get rid of this? Use the on-camera microphone. See if that makes any difference. Okay. All right. So let's see if that's any different. Thank you, caller. All right. What I'm going to do is reorient the sucker around the wall. We'll see if we get any punchier audio from this situation. So let's rotate the scene, kids. Just gonna say in videography, think with your feet. I guess this is really more of a camera move. It's Eric's got it on the stupid table. Ah. Oh yeah, this is sophisticated. I have a master's degree, and yet this is how I choose to make all my pop. The master's degree is not production, by the way. In case it wasn't obvious. It's sort of the opposite of set dressing, I think. Yeah, set dressing would be adding things. I am totally not. I'm set strip teasing. Oh, this is set burlesque. Yeah, we're calling this set burlesque. Sort of the opposite of what we would do in that situation. All right, let's see. Yeah, I was going to use the GoPro for my second camera source. Two things. One, it's actually running a time lapse, which I now completely goofed up. I'm very smart. It's not like I've ever made online content before at scale. Ah, but also, uh, the webcam utility that they stopped supporting 2 years ago, for some reason, doesn't work today. All right. Let my eyes breathe for a second. All right. Let's see if this is any crunchier. All right, so. Oh yeah, that's a great look. All right, let's see if this is any better on the noisometer. Or my crowbar. Dental dislocation. Let's start. Creating my own aesthetic. Yes. All right. So, is that any less crap with the audio? I mean, by less crap, I mean like rejecting the noise that everybody else would totally not want on their stream is actually something I want on my stream. All right. So I don't have any audio suppression settings turned on. So either I'm getting I don't know what's happening here. But anyway, I'm gonna break some stuff. Y'all can watch. Screws are still left in. It's out. All right. Let's see. So, Harbor Freight coupons keep piling up. Usually when they go on sale, what I end up getting is one of these extra bins, these little magnetic screw holders, usually like parts bins for like mechanics use them a lot. I have spares of those all over the place. One of them's got my drill bits in it right now that I'm on the drill. And the other one is we've been finding that are not completely trashed. And unsurprisingly, damn thing's already full. So I'm going to have to swap that out a little bit. Okay. Set the test. Ah, very pointy. The reason I'm not throwing them at the moment. Trying to create a nice clean stack because I don't have anybody to help clean me up. So I'm all by myself today doing this nonsense. Well, that's a choice. See if I can get a good shot of this. Choices were made in this establishment, kids. When I say choices, I rarely mean good ones. Right. Time to go big screen, baby. All right. Let's take camera and walk out of that. All right. So what you can see here is this is an interior wall. Insulation, 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 insulation. And then we get to the void. The one spot they didn't insulate on this entry wall is the bit that's closest to the outside. Now keep in mind, this got cut off here. And this is what makes me think that this was actually a carport at one point, because you can see the dip in the concrete. The concrete pour, according to my contractor friend, is, well, I won't tell you the words he used, but they were unkind words. He was not complimentary about the quality of concrete. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not safe to build on. Guy who we actually did get a professional engineer to stamp that the foundation was actually usable. So I didn't want to build on this thing if the main bit that keeps you from living in a dirt ground situation because the whole roof rests on it, stuff like that. Right. Okay. It's my hand that's very disconcerting. And okay shape, but not amazing. So the fact that I can tear this out with my hands. Take it. Leverage on, do da. In the hand with a hammer that did from. It quickly. Let's twist that. But it's what I'm left with. Okay. All right, I thought that was kind of loud. I don't know if my camera thought. Where's the page? Yeah, that's why we're not even trying to save any of this wood. I have slightly entertained possibility of keeping whatever the hell this is and like making crafts or something out of it. It just it's dry, it's untreated, which means rodents might have pissed in it. Just yeah, that probably happened. So this some amount of dumpster fire. Like that to you? That's pretty good. I'll keep that one. Yeah, there were there's cabinets on this wall. So this span is what, like 6, 7 feet? Held up a cabinet with 5 screws. Only 5 screws. And it was disappointing how easily that came off the wall. The fact they didn't put any trim in is horrific, but it does make starting these a little bit easier. There we go. I mean, no trim. Anyway, even in the shower. Also, when I took the kitchen sink out, no caulk around the rim. Joining me, you're my guinea pig on running a 150-foot network cable from your barn into an unpermitted cottage because you had a spare Sunday to work on fixing up the old cottage. And so why you shouldn't make some damn content. The enjoyment of tens of people. And Fifth, they usually edit down to a 3-minute montage in your favorite home improvement show. Now stretched out to an hour on a streaming network. This is the way of content. What if they streamed everything from the Big Brother house while they were taking the house down? I would have actually watched that show. Because then those damn people would have gotten evicted. Oh, press five. Yeah. I don't want to entirely trash these wall studs because this wall is staying. It's just going to get extended. Actually, well, you know it is, and I just realized it isn't. Well, no, I can work with this. I want to leave this intact. I'll explain why when I take a break. This is a little easier to work on. How's everybody's summer going? You thinking about while I have you out into the or ah prayer request? But you know the obvious. I don't think it funny. All right, my East Coast viewer is dropping off for nutrition. That is a perfectly valid reason to not watch me sweat in a Tyvek suit. It's quite warm. Not progress, but just enough to work just by hydrating myself. Very sweaty goggles. Let's see. There you go. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of a beverage break. So, uh, glad the murder cottage aesthetic is working for the viewers at home. Adjustments here. I'm gonna take a beverage break. And then when I See a little more smashy on camera. I don't want to stay on too long. But homeboy needs beverage. I didn't actually build it in my original stream. I haven't used OBS in a while, but still like it. Alright. Maybe it's just areas.
needed a snack, so you know. Uh, all right, two angles of man eating banana while he works on the cottage. All right. So far, yeah, slow work. I'm not worried about taking down a ton of stuff early. Just want to get insulation out of here. I might do a tour of some problem areas in a second. I'm an old man. I need the potassium, so this is happening. Anyway, while we're waiting, Brian's unified theory of television. Uh, yeah, so the connecting vibe between shows can be a little bit obvious sometimes, and sometimes you can't really tell, like, how is one television show related to another. Cinema verite to reality TV is, super easy. I think the one that people miss a lot, though, is home improvement shows because they're kind of sort of like reverse ghost hunting shows. So a ghost hunting show and a home improvement show basically have the same opening 15 to 20 minutes. People discover a house. Sometimes they're married, sometimes they're family members, sometimes it's a mother-daughter situation. They go to the house and they find out that like all kinds of creepy stuff is in it. There's dead animals, there's stuff's coming from the walls, there's weird hums, doors open and close randomly for no reason. The home improvement people will stick around and fix it, and the ghost hunters will literally ghost you. Look, come in the house and go, "Yep, it's haunted. Uh, Sucks to be you. Bye." And then, meanwhile, good bones will actually come around and do the thing. So, like, you don't need the Ghostbusters. You need the Property Brothers, and probably a licensed electrician because that EMF meter, aside from being garbage, if you're running that off knob and tube, yeah, of course it's gonna hum. You're gonna hear weird stuff, voices and things. You probably that stuff's like an AM radio antenna. You picking up like Chicago Cubs broadcast on that thing. Anyway, a bit behind me, bit that really surprised me is, yeah, kind of closest to the exterior wall not being insulated. Oh, right. I was going to tell you about the wall situation. Okay, so Oregon code for exterior walls is 2x6, interior walls 2x4. Um, so, and that's just to get extra insulation in. This is, yeah, it's a 2x4 wall, but interior, so it shouldn't matter. It's actually not a bad pointer. It doesn't matter to me. One of the things I'm doing is yonder space. I'll show you yonder space. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what the living room situation is now in this place, and the door is off behind this wall to the outside. So this is about, I don't know, 680 square feet, give or take. So on I'm calling it the carport side because I still seriously think that's what this place was an unpermitted carport. And so in the carport space, I am gonna basically turn that into a studio. So I'll have some ready-made recording, like kind of wall setup. I'm gonna take out the big picture windows because I don't need the exterior light as much. My 6-piece drum set needs a place to live. It has been sitting in storage forever. I don't play like I used to, so I need to fix that. Can't really put them in the barn. There's no place to put them in the house. Like it's a full-on like quasi prog rock setup, so I need a little bit of room for it. Usually I just play a 4-piece if I'm actually gigging somewhere, but I'm gonna set my Pearl at home. I don't travel or gig anymore, so like that's a set I bought. God, I bought that set in like sophomore year of college. Yeah, yeah, first band I was in. Upgraded my drum kit when I was at Clemson. Bought it on sale for like it's Pearl BLX, maple birch, 6-piece. I probably paid $1,500 for it back in 1992. They don't make that kit anymore. It's the old Pearl hardware where like they've just poked a steel rod through a hole in the drum. It's very barbaric, but it held stuff off the floor. Everybody uses rim-mounted stuff, like or Tama style mounts. Nobody puts the hole in the side anymore, except for the old Pearl stuff, and I own 2 of those. Anyway, the dividing wall, it's going to have some kind of separating door. And then, so this is going to be a soundproof wall. Now, the way you do a soundproof wall is, these wall studs are open, right? Yeah. Okay, so the fun with a soundproof wall, get over here. Is that as far as you can go? Okay, that's as far as you can go. All right, so all the 2x4s here are mounted to the wall. So they connect to both the outside wall and the inside wall. And they're usually about 16 inches on center. Now, what that means is that sound transferring through that solid object, it will come up to that wall stud and basically go through the wall stud. The air gap around it doesn't matter as much because the sound can just basically cut through. Being on the other side of a concrete wall from something loud doesn't actually deaden the sound very much. A lot of club owners found this out in basement bars where their neighbors would complain because there's no damn soundproofing. They're like, well, it's concrete. Well, bass and stuff travels really well through solid material, so you get like a nice thumpy rumble thing. What you do on a soundproof wall is you do a 2x6 width wall, but you alternate the wall studs every 8 inches on center, but it's still 16 on center from the other side. So instead of having these two wall studs like this with the insulation, I would have a 2x6 wall stud, and then that would hold on to, or sorry, I have 2x4 wall stud, but then the next wall stud would come 8 inches over and stick out, an inch and a half, so that you end up with a framed wall that there's no direct stud to stud transfer. So it takes a little bit more lumber to do, but it results in something that you essentially weave the insulation through. You run the insulation through kind of like an S-curve, but you don't have solid object to wall transfer all the way through, and that deadens the noise quite a bit. I can't do that on the exterior walls. The exterior walls on this are framed 2x4 right now. Again, nobody followed any building codes when they made this. So I'm probably, what we're trying to figure out is if it's an existing structure, do I have to reframe everything? Or can I get a pass on like, hey, you framed it up, like you took an existing building, framed it up to code, versus, nah, dog, this wall's got to go and it's got to be 2x6. It wouldn't hurt anything too much and complicate some of the exterior wall and construction. There's only one wall I have to actually replace. Everything else looks like it's okay. I say it looks like because I haven't cut all these walls open yet. Anyway, that was fun. So I think I need to continue taking this down, but that means I got to go up the ladder and take those top boards down so I can pull all the insulation out. I got to do that over here as well, which means I'm probably going to go and top off my beverage, grab a ladder, and make a mess. All right, I'm going to reframe a couple cameras here. I'll be right back, and then we're going to break some stuff. Yeah, I think order of operations is this. I'm probably going to put on some hearing protection for this because I don't actually have to hear y'all. And the crowbar is kind of loud and you had a hammer. Okay, so this is fun party. Need to put the hood up. Remember, plenty of rat poop on the walls, so I'm totally going to wear the Mike TV cosplay in that scene in Wonka where shrink that kid down to put him on a TV set. Yeah, so sort of proto Walter White situation. All right. Yeah, you can touch those over that. You can hear that it's got it pretty well. Yeah. You're not bad. Fun. Okay. Hopefully, not too many loud noises. All right. Oh. Old man, brick wall. Film at 11. It's my favorite. That beats. This board splitting is not actually that great because I can't get any leverage on them. It's really annoying when they split out from the end rather than just like actually yielding. So that doesn't help my cause very much. All right, I go up here and see what I can do about it. See if I can deal with that in the end. So if it stayed together, then I'd get much more consistent. Oh, be able to get the damn thing off the wall. That does not appear to be the case. Yeah, I'm sweating under my goggles, so. Ooh, fun, fun, fun.
Add to my weird crap collection. Somebody went to Starbucks. Goes in the trash. That goes on the floor next to the trash. The other thing I have to be careful of is when I put the ladder down on the floor to make sure there's actually floor there, because there is a layer of concrete and probably the plywood is. And a lot of this tile is laid directly over the top of carpeting. I don't mean the carpeting is laid on top of the tile. I mean the tile was laid on top of the carpet. That was almost bad. Okay. Ah. The belt cover was laid over. That was laid over the carpet. So what it means is I thought I do falls over the floor. Like that. Ah. Oh! That was fun. Nobody died. Ah. All right. Insulation! My favorite! The pink slime time! Ah. Yep. Ah. Music's actually got some good stuff in the studio collection, so yeah, let me know if you want to hear music with this next time. Or if it's just enough to listen to me ASMR with profanity on occasion. We can do either one. All right. Now you know what time it is. It's time for Old Ben Struggles to Open Contractor Bag, the new hit game show that nobody asked for. Brought to you by these cheap ass bags that I'm never buying again. Ah, watch a man who is too young to get discount movie tickets, but just old enough to have back pain from sleeping on the side. Attempt to pierce the veil between two sides of them. Look at that. Guilt, guilt getting active. It got power saw up for the next box. All right. Love up. Once more into the pinkish hued breach. Those two boards go on the bottom. Yeah, it's up here there's insulation. Down here there isn't. Up here there's a tangle of cords. Yeah. So surprisingly, this place had, this was done probably in the 90s, um, satellite TV and a full phone system. I think one of the previous owners might have worked at like telecom. So there's like a full-on phone patch today up in the attic. The kind of thing that we used to use at the college radio station for like multiple phone lines. They've got in here for like phone line. I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't done terribly, but it was done. Uh, Who's not using these goggles, by the way? I think this is just actually, I don't think I have it tight enough. All right. So let's take a look at this nonsense. Yeah. Let's dismount this camera. Live TV, everybody. Live production. So let's go to big screen on this. Right. So a little bit of sawdust. There's some spider webs in here where you can see the cable intrusions come in. Um, but yeah, there's obvious evidence, these little black spots. That stuff's been in here. And then you've got this tangle of, it looks like RG6 for satellite. That's going to get trimmed out. Again, hopefully I can recoup some of my costs just by reclaiming some of the copper from the wall. Uh, Wait, you actually recognized me this time? Okay. Wow. You thought I wasn't a face earlier. I feel validated. All right. I validated the camera actually recognizes me as a human again. That's awesome. Let's see if we can keep that up. Wait, maybe actually, that is black. Just the other side of the inflation, I guess. I don't. Yes. By the way, there was also like substance on the floor. There wasn't any really weird. But, yeah, this is the backside of that brick. Sir, without me for grade school. It's possible. I'm looking hard to get the insulation down there that separates back. Probably not. Ooh. Sweaty in here. Nope. So you don't think I'm a people anymore, do you? It doesn't think I'm people. Validate me, technology. Validate me. All right. The robot has chosen to recognize that I am human, so I can get into this web page now. I gotta take that apart. Yeah. Let's cease the track. Yeah, I think what I gotta focus on is this little bit of wall right here. Yeah, that's gotta come out. I was hoping to kind of skip that, but I think that's going to be better if I just knock those two boards out and get to all the insulation. This project, like how did in the 90s there was a product for this. I was training every day. However, the state is the Staples. So, never confuse protection for armor. Favorite demolition tool in the toolbox. And yeah, you know, some part of me. It's a favorite part of the arsenal. Ooh, very sweaty. All right, one more bag of insulation, and then I'm probably going to stop the stream, take a beverage break, and figure out what to do with the rest of my afternoon. All right. Ooh, oops, another bag. Bag for like maybe, how many days have I got left? Like 4 or 5. Thank God. Oh, yeah, these things really do suck. All right. This bag for your entertainment. Figure out this goggle situation. Really? What are you doing? It decided that that's not a face, that's a trash bag. I love technology. I really do. Okay, so it's tracking me as an object, not as a people. being objectified by my technology. Oh, yeah, forgot. I was gonna do a time lapse. I'm gonna turn it back on after my beverage break. Yep, the quality content you want to see. Sweaty man on the hands. Dealing with insulation and trash bags. All right, sit back, relax. Let me put things up in the bag. Get a load for a pretty big old price. Got the mattress station. Hopefully get a lot of this put out for them. Up for comment. What did I have no idea? Exactly. It's very possible. Like you should money in the building department. Could be that. They taking no glamour industry by presenting my content like this. Real time. Like big property brother. Big show. Well, the network are just like pretty sure big property brothers or just a like feed anytime. All right, that's my fourth bag. All right. Let's delayer a bit. All right, also in. Hopefully, people think I'm a face again. Oh, they were. That's the stuff. Ah, all right, push a couple buttons here. All right, well, that was a fun. It's different. I've been actually doing a live stream for this stuff before, and I don't know if it's actually going to be something I continue to do because it's kind of weird as a format, but no stranger than anything else I do on this channel. All right, so thanks for spending an hour-ish with me doing whatever the heck this is. Hopefully this gets me going on good progress in here. I've got way more mess to make. Some of it'll be on camera, some won't. This is kind of a preview. The big NerdSteading video on the start of the Murder Cottage demolition. It's probably a week and a half, 2 weeks out. I got to get my editing workflow back together for NerdSteading. Took all the video of the initial demo where we opened it up, did the tour and everything. It's taking me a little bit longer to edit. I will. My workflow is garbage for this thing because I just sort of shoot when I feel like it. There's not as much of a plan to it as I probably ought to have. So it's always something I can improve on. Anyway, this has been real. This has been fun. This has been real sweaty, but I'm gonna hit the stop button pretty soon, and maybe we'll do this again. Who knows? Thanks for watching.